Mentor system's actually really good for fighting game. I also agree. Adopt a beginner.
あー、めちゃめちゃ。
The problem is a lot of people who play fighting games are really bad
そうですね。
teachers,
いや、もうそれ
or
しか
they're
ないです
really
よ、あのね、
awful
ゲームの場合
explaining
は。
shit. It's so bad. There's so many people who are top players who cannot explain enough to. So,
あー、
so the idea,
8ぐらいした。
so the idea
誘
of
導したつもりだったけど、
good players teaching newer players is they don't
あ、プレイ
understand
プレイ。
how to
体力が。
describe their thought process to a very basic level. They don't understand that. It's like you need to be super, super, super basic. You have to understand the level that the person you're mentoring is at.
あー、
Until you
難か
can
っ
learn
た
that,
な。
then you can't.
うーん、
You're not.
ちょっ
I think you're
と
not a good teacher,
もったいないな。
honestly. And
うわー、抜けてきた。
teaching is hard. Oh, I should drink water. That was 30 minutes ago. What the fuck?
ラッキー。間違えました。こ
Treat beginners with respect. Yeah, a lot of people don't do that.
れは連れてくれないですね。全体が結構短いから、
The video we watched had 1.2, and the person clearly put effort into it. They put effort into it, but
作るやつ。
they what they think is beginner is not actually beginner.
今の作
To
業
a
の
certain,
数
it's like to a certain degree it's beginner, but then it definitely kind of strays away from beginner and goes into intermediate stuff. Because you assume that they'll learn from the first 5 minutes and understand everything, or come back to it later. But it's like it's a 21-minute video, and you're expecting people to digest it that quickly when that's not true
全
anymore.
然いいんだけど。
What's up, JC? They help you to fight all to you how much you want to improve. I mean, you can have people tell you how to. You usually have people watch your matches and say, "Hey, you should do this in this situations."
いやー、最悪。二段ジャンプ入っちゃった。
Each bracket missing, and that came up. Wait, what about your bracket in Combo Breaker 2018? You think they teach the core really well? Yeah, League teaches the core super well. Yeah, it's kind of like a Tekken dictionary and like a small part of a guide. What someone would say if you ask questions on the spot. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like a lot of people don't have nuance in explaining to the level a person is at. Having someone at your back has some kind of impact. No, I agree. I think MOBAs have that aspect because if you're playing with someone who's more experienced with you, they'll tell you, they'll understand, hey, click this at this spot or use this when we say to use this, right? And then you'll eventually learn, oh, you'll learn I should use this at this spot because the people who are not in the call with me should know to follow up, you know? Or they know that I'm using this as a protective spell. Excuse me. Because it's the instantaneous, okay, I have time to do this when this happens. Whereas for fighting games, someone could teach you, hey, the next time you're in this situation, try to remember to do this. And maybe you don't remember because, you know, you
このジャンプめちゃくちゃ強いですけど。
you didn't play a fighting game for like 3 days, so you forgot the situation, right?
あー、むずい
But the idea is supposed to be you have a mentor watch you. They say, hey, next time you play in a match, remember to do this. You play a match immediately, and then you try to like work on
重な
that.
るやつだからめっちゃ遅かったの俺が。
And your Tekken pool, really? I hope it wasn't a top player, because that would be a shame.
これは遠いな。
Yeah, but why? Yeah. Since you don't have anyone to turn to, that's true. That's why I think fighting games are the hardest competitive genre to learn. To a bunch of people, and it reminded me of some aspects you always forgot when you played yourself. Yeah,
この詐欺取り
exactly.
なかなか
Like sometimes when I tell people like, hey, do this here in this situation because of this, I'll be like, oh shit, I should do that myself. What if people tell you to improve your meter management? Fuck. I think that's bad because you're not really describing what that means. Even though I'm pretty sure I've done that before. Yeah, no, I've given reasons. When I say you need better meter management, I'll be like, you need better meter management because you need to heat at these times. You need to have meter for confirms. You need meter to reversal, etc. I will give more reasons than just saying you need to manage your meter better. They did describe. Oh, okay. Oh, you think it's a good device? Okay.
うまいでしたね。
And you're forced to play it as a newbie. The game also has a coaching mode too. Show an example works well. Yeah. Have you spent EX here? What do you accomplish? Well, I try to be a little bit more understanding because teaching people is hard. Teaching is hard. Don't get me wrong.
6月2日でしたけど、
Being a good teacher is hard. And teaching people is hard. That you have to be willing to understand that not everybody has the same instantaneous cognitive thought that you have. You would burn everything to defend yourself with severe health disadvantage. Oh yeah, a lot of people do that. People will be like, I'll do wake up shield, I'll do wake up backdash, I'll do wake up moon drive, I'll do wake up heat just so I can fucking not have to block anymore. Then it's like, all right, cool. You still have a life disadvantage and you have no resources. What are you supposed to do now? Or if your defense relies on having one thing and you lose your one thing, your defense is non-existent. With no EX and no moon, yeah. Those are usually pretty bad because if you get hit in this game with no resources, you better be good at defending because you're stuck there. But people tell you to help them. It's tough. Because you need to make those tutorials, you need to make those beginner guides because people will say it's good, but if you think it's not good and you know what to improve on, you just make the next one better. You just say, hey, here's an updated version because I missed this, and this. But I wanted to put this out because I didn't want to hold it for too long, right? As long as you're willing to make a version 2, version 3, version 200, that's fine. Because you can almost always improve what you made the first time if you didn't do it before. Ooh, shield. Boom. Hey. Taught you way more than other people's advice. Yeah. There's also different learning methods that people take more to heart than normal. Yeah, empathy in this day and age is really what's the word? I feel like empathy is kind of scarce. Not kinda, it's very scarce nowadays. Yeah, unempathetic people are not good teachers, but it's strange. Hard to come by, yeah, hard to come by. Perpetual casual. I feel like it's hard to be specific because it's so often some in the weeds type of details. Yeah, that's why it's when I tell people to ask questions, I mean it. I'm like, you should probably ask questions, and as long as you have good intentions with the question you ask, you'll be fine. Because there'll be someone who can answer your question, or there'll be someone who can help answer your question. Yeah, there is such a thing as asking the correct question, but you need to someone will ask you a question and you say, okay, is it this you're asking? They say no, and then you have to slowly guide them to the question that they want to be verbalized correctly, and then you can give the right answer. But you have to be willing to help guide them to the right question that they need specifically for them if they haven't found it. Vague general casual doesn't cut it. Sometimes. Again, it depends on the person you're talking to. That's why I think a lot of people who played fighting games for a long time and who are good should do a better job of trying to teach people who are at a skill level that they think they've hit a ceiling when they just don't understand what to do as the next step. Yeah, you're supposed to guide them to the correct question, quote unquote. Like, there is no bad questions. There is a right question that someone's looking for that they don't know how to get there. They don't know how to word things. Yeah, pick one problem and talk about it, yeah. It's like, hey, I don't know how to it's like, hey, people keep jumping at me. Then you say, okay, how are you anti-airing people? You don't say, are you anti-airing them? You say, how are you anti-airing them? And if they give you the answer of, well, I wait to do this, then you say, okay, show me how you do this, or maybe also try doing these things. Why is the new Star Wars game 128 gigs? Why is that shit 128 gigs? I'm tired of AAA games being fucking bigger than some programs. I'm tired of that shit. In total community, people used to ask, how do I get better? Oh, that's still a thing. That's crazy. People still just be like, how do I get better? And it's like, are you serious? It's like, if you've been playing a fighting game for... If you have more than, like, let's say 5,000 matches in a fighting game, and you say, how do I get better? It's like, you have to sit down with that person for a while and be like, okay, we have to talk. Play more. Yeah. Like, there's only so much before play more works, right? Because you don't know what you're doing at a certain point when you say play more. You're autopiloting. Like, your skill set has given you the ability to understand up to a certain point without being able to analyze situations correctly, or to a degree, and you don't get that. Yeah, they know they should anti-air, but then it's like, maybe there's a mental stack they're looking for. Like, oh, I know the anti-air, but I'm looking for them to do this, right? So then you say, okay, instead of trying to anti-air, maybe you create space, like I said the other day.
スコアを見て思うんですけど、まあ、た
Yeah,
まに
play more is not good
け
advice,
ば
but
当たりますね。
what's it called? It depends on what they're asking. If they say, hey, I need to work on this, like, hey, I keep dropping this combo, then you say, hey, do this part of the
結構
combo over and over
高ヒット
before you
率
can,
ありますね。
get the
ムーンス
proper
キル玉。
extension.
まあ、暴れって言っていいのかわかんないですけど、まあ、高ヒット状況でありますからね、もともと。
COD is so big with devs wanting to be like the only thing a lot of people constantly. I hate
もう
COD
勝
being
った
like
けど、
200 gigs too. That shit's fucking
なん
huge.
だっていう操作の仕方したな。
Diablo 4 was like 80 gigs or something. Diablo 4 is huge. I had to put it on my external because I didn't have enough space on my hard drive. I have to get a new SSD. I fucking hate this. I also just want another Diablo 4 beta. I just want to keep playing D4.
あー、まあ走ってきた。もう今リビュー受け
How to improve is to get better combos. Oh yeah. Well, I do tell people like you need to work on your combos, but that's later. Because at a certain point when you can score a hit, the combo you do is suboptimal or you're doing the wrong type of combo. So the damage you output is way less than what you normally could be doing. So obviously it turns into learn the better combos. But it turns into once you're better at getting the hit, then it turns into learn the situation you're in so you can get the better combo.
やっちった。
There's another beta in 2 weeks. Let's
ちゃ
go.
いましたね。
SSD is so cheap. Okay, cool.
ええな。
I gotta go
だったらワンチャ
get
ンで
those.
したか。
I have to clean out my fucking case. My case is so dusty. I have to get canned air. Diablo 4 Necromancer? Yeah, Necromancer was... I think Necromancer was busted. I think Necromancer was like by far one of the best fucking... Yeah, it was busted. Fucking corpse explosion. That shit's so good. The regular... I'm talking about M2s. I should have said... I have an M2. I need to get... I have space for another M2. I just need to buy another one, but I have to clean out my case. Sword Chain Lightning though? Oh yeah. I tried playing a druid, but I was getting smoked. Because I was playing on the not the normal difficulty, the other difficulty. I was getting smoked because I was like, holy shit, fucking. Because I was way more melee than what was it, the thunder aspect? I gotta look at my build again when I get the beta. I might stream the beta playthrough. Neutral hitting, getting more hits than me and everything, but they get hit and nothing from it. Not good damage, not good. So work on combos. In terms of combos, is really the only advice you can only give. What you could do is you could ask them, hey, what's going through your mind when this happens, right? And if they say like, oh, I'm trying to do this combo, but I keep fucking it up, then you ask them why they do that combo. It's like, hey, why are you doing this combo that's harder for you when you can do a slightly easier combo and you still get almost the same damage? Because then you start losing damage if you keep dropping shit, right? So you start telling them, do what's easier for you first and then slowly develop on it. It's a more common advice. You gotta get your PC going. Came loose. Moving to your dorm. Oof. You miss having 3 terabytes of storage? Yeah, I used to have like 2 terabytes. I have 1 terabyte, but it got full with a whole bunch of fucking programs. And a lot of videos I've been editing. I have to get rid of a lot of videos I've edited. Yeah, confirms are hard because it's situational awareness, and you have to ask them their thought process in that situation. Yeah, programs and videos. Well, it's mostly editing videos. I have... Shit, I have CAD on my computer. I have Autodesk on my computer, so it's a lot. I have Autodesk, I have DaVinci Resolve with all of my fucking videos I've been editing. Why do I have the Epic Games launcher on here? Oh fuck, I gotta go look at that. OBS doesn't take up anything. I have League on here too. I gotta get rid of that. SSD and another 500. Got it. Yeah, sometimes people don't understand the buttons they're pressing, so your confirms are not good. So you have to teach them structure about combos, and that's also another discussion. Yeah, there are terabyte M2s. Yeah, I have one. I need to get another one. Is wrestling starting? Fuck ROH, fuck. Alright, ROH is starting. All right, we've been talking for a while, and I've barely been paying attention to this match. Uh, fuck. I did not think I'd be talking about this. Okay. If people want, I can talk about more about this shit tomorrow. Because I feel like teaching people fighting game stuff is really important, but it's also really hard. And since I like a lot of fighting games, I understand a lot of the thought process because I watched them for a long time. So like Exert, I know what the thought process in Exert's like. KOF I'm getting better at because I've been watching a lot more KOF, but it's still hard because there's a lot of characters I don't know what happens or like what they do. I mean, I know what everyone in the cast does, but not to like a super basic level. I need to get to that point first before I think I'm good enough at KOF. Strive is the only thing with Strive is Bedman came out, so I have to learn Bedman stuff. So I might watch Bedman shit. I the thing is, I think I'm probably okay on commentary, but like when it comes to teaching people, I'm willing to sit down with a lot of people, and it's not bad. It's just it's fucking hard to convince people that. Oh, one thing that when people say that they're bad, uh, it's like, oh, it's okay, I'm bad. Then you need to be like kind of like a therapist in some ways. When people say that they're bad, they'll be like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm so bad." Then you have to tell them like, you know what? You just tell them, "Hey, don't apologize. It's hard. Fighting like you have to tell them that fighting games are hard because it's true. Fighting games are hard. Like you can't be like you can't sit there and lie to them and say, "Oh, you'll get it event. You'll get it quickly. It happens to everybody." You have to be willing to say, "Hey, fighting games are hard. It's okay if you don't get it right away. As long as you're having fun, it's fine. But the second you stop having fun, you need to like calm down, take a break, don't force yourself. You have to play that role of being kind of a therapist. How does that make you feel? Not like that. Not like that. You gave